Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be making a Lethal Company tier list. I will be giving like a description on every single monster and like stuff like why I'm putting them in that tier and other stuff like that. First off, we got the hoarding bug. This bug is not that hard to counter. It takes 2 hits to kill with a shovel, and they're just kind of annoying in general. I'm gonna put them in C tier. Sometimes they can be funny, but when you're in situations and there are a lot of them, it can be so annoying. Then we have the bunker spider. This guy is pretty chill. Like it's kind of embarrassing if you die to him unless he corners you and you're out of stamina, because really you can just jump over them. He's as slow as the employee walking. Like that's how slow he is, and he'll only come to attack you if you like break one of his cobwebs or you get stuck in one of his cobwebs. So really not that hard. I'm probably gonna put him in like C tier as well. All right, now we have the Bracken. This guy is like hell for new players. He's really annoying. Unless you're like pro, you know how to counter him. Basically, in order to counter him, you have to like stare at him for 2 seconds and then look down, and then if he turns red and just starts running at you, drop everything you have and just sprint. Okay? You just gotta like run, and then eventually he'll lose track of you. But yeah, other than that, the Bracken is probably like the icon of the game because there's so many memes of him. I'm gonna put him in A tier. Alright, now we have the snare flea. The snare flea, it's really not that hard. You just gotta keep an eye on the ceiling and just, use your scanner. And as long as you have another employee with you who has a shovel, then it's not that big of a deal. Unless you're like already critical damage. But if you're alone and a snare flea gets on you and you're like deep into the facility, you're just cooked. So I'm gonna put him in B tier because it's really annoying. Alright, now we have the coil head. Alright, the coil head is once again another icon of the Lethal Company game. This monster is really annoying if you're like solo, because basically it's like a weeping angel from Doctor Who. If you're not looking at it, then it'll move, and it does 90 damage every millisecond. So it's basically one shot unless you're like really like have a very fast reaction time. Other than that, the coil head, it's not that hard if you're in a big group. But if you're alone, then it'll be more of a challenge because you have to like change your entire gameplay. You have to keep your eye on that, and that gives monsters like the Bracken an opening to come snap your neck, or other things to sneak up on you. So I'm gonna put Coilhead in S tier because you have to change your whole gameplay. You have to keep your eye on that, and it's really hard when you're solo. Next, we have the slime. I think it's like the Hydra Globe or something. This slime, okay, honestly, you're kind of an embarrassment if you die to this thing. It really, okay, so if the only way you can possibly die is if you die because it was camping the main entrance. The reason why this thing will camp the main entrance, say it starts following you and you go to main entrance and leave. The Hydra Globe likes to camp where it last saw a player. So, yeah, it's not that hard. You can just jump over it if you're trying to, get around it, or just juke it. Like, lead it into a room and shut the door. Other than that, it's really not that hard to kill, so I'm gonna put it in D tier. Not kill, but it's just very easy. I'm gonna put it in D tier. Now we have the Spore Lizard. This guy is just very like, if you die to him, you're actually a disgrace. The Spore Lizard does not do, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it will not like run up to you and attack you. You have to like corner it and start chasing it for it to do damage to you, because it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a monster that like pretends to be like menacing, but if you start chasing it, it'll run away. So the Spore Lizard is not that hard. In fact, it's very easy. I'm gonna put it in D tier with the Hydra Globe. Alright, Now we have the jester. These things. Okay, if you ever see this little Jack in the Box buffoon, exit the facility immediately. The reason why is because once this little buster starts winding up, you and all your friends have to get out the facility now. This thing does not have a limit on its speed, and it knows where every single player is in the facility once it's popped out of its box. This thing also one shots, and it's just, yeah, you have to. It's like an evacuation. But once every single player gets out of the facility when it's popped, it'll just go back into its stage one where it's looking for players, and yeah, you can go back in once you're done with that. So, but still, this thing is a pain. I'm gonna put it in S tier because it's really hard. Okay, next we have the Nutcracker. The Nutcracker, honestly, in my opinion, I have had very bad encounters with this guy. The Nutcracker, he when it's in groups, it's really hard because they like do a whole 360 with their eyesight, and they one shot if all bullets hit you. Other than that, it's not that hard to just stay out of its sight, and it's very useful when you kill it to get its shotgun because you can just one shot everything. Well, not one shot, but mostly everything. I'm gonna put it in A tier behind the Bracken because it's just one of them. Just stay out of its sight and get a shovel and kill it. Okay, now we have the Amassed or Infected. This guy, really, you just gotta, if you see an employee and it's infected, just say, "Hey, are you real?" And if they don't respond and they're acting weird, just stay away from them. The masked can sometimes camp in your ship because they're just, I don't know, they're like that. They'll camp in your ship and wait for the employees to come back and just jump you. But the kill animation takes like 3 seconds. If you're in a kill animation and someone has a shovel with you, that person has to hit the mask and you'll be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna put the mask in B tier. It's really not that big of a deal. Alright, now we have Ghost Girl. Ghost Girl, okay. It's really funny, but really scary at the same time. When it's you, it's scary. But when it's one of your teammates and he looks like a schizophrenic running from nothing, it's really funny. But when it's you, the Ghost Girl, it's a whole different story because she's kind of fast. She has no she doesn't stop running. She'll just play with you for a couple seconds and then eventually just start skipping over to you. Eventually, she'll just one shot you unless you get off the planet, in which you would have to convince all your teammates to leave. But other than that, Ghost Girl, she's a big threat. I'm gonna put her in S tier because it's just, you have to change your gameplay. You have to keep an eye out once you have her curse because she's very dangerous. Next we have the Thumper. Alright, these things, the Thumpers are pain. Unless you have a player in your team or you are a pro and you have a shovel, or multiple people on your team have a shovel. The Thumper, this thing, it will run really fast. It's like another version of the Jester. It'll start building up its speed really fast. But the downside to the Thumper is that it takes 4 shots for it to kill you. And if you make really sharp turns, that'll slow it down for 2 seconds and you can get away from it. And the Thumper can't hear it. It can only see you. You just stay out of its line of sight and then you'll be good. But other than that, I'm gonna put the Thumper in B tier because it's still pretty big of a threat. Next, we have Eyeless Dog. Honestly, Eyeless Dogs, either you have a mechanical keyboard, which is a skill issue. I can't be talking. I have a mechanical keyboard, but you just gotta mute your mic. If you ever see these things and you have loot at the front door you want to go get, just order a walkie-talkie. Just order something really cheap, like a walkie-talkie, and then the delivery machine, the delivery ship will lead it away. That gives you I'd say 30 seconds to go get whatever you need, or to start ship, or to go get something, or a body or something, and then yeah, you have time to get away from it. But it's still pretty big of a danger to those mechanical keyboard players like me and some of my other friends. So I'm gonna put it in I'm gonna put it in A tier because it's still very annoying. Okay, yeah. The forest giant, it's like the eyeless dog, but instead it's earless and has really really good eyesight. The forest giant has the same speed of of an employee, but it does not run out of stamina. So once the thing sees you, it'll just start speeding towards you unless you get inside of the ship or get like unless you like get into the facility or something. Other than that, the forest giant is a really 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 dangerous monster. You can kill this thing. You can stun it with a zap gun, or you can lead an earth leviathan these things to eat it, or or if there's an old bird, if there's one of these things right here, you can also lead that to an old bird, and that the old bird will kill it. But other than that, if you don't have any the Earth Leviathan, and you're out of stamina, you're not into the facility, and you don't have an old bird, you're cooked. These guys are also going in A tier. Next, we have the baboon hawks. Recently, the baboon hawks got buffed, so now they can enter your ship, and they a lot of people think that they run away from you if you scream into your mic. Well, that's not true because either I just have a skill issue and it's true, or it's not true because every single time I'm with my friends and we start screaming through our mic, like blasting screaming at this thing, they still come and attack us. They're very very annoying because they're so unpredictable. Even though you can kill them pretty easily, you don't know. Like they just sometimes you'll just spawn out of nowhere, like the forest giant. So I'm gonna put this in B tier because if they're in hordes, they're fearless. They're like very very annoying. If they're in like a whole bunch, if they're in a group or a pack, however you want to say it, they're very annoying. Next we have the Earth Leviathan. Okay, the only way you can die to the Earth Leviathan is greed. That's all I'm gonna say. The Earth Leviathan, you can hear it. It's like it like starts roaring under you, and once you see little like the ground shaking under you and like these little brown particles come out the ground, you need to either start sprinting as fast as you can or drop all your loot and run, because once this thing is under the ground, it'll just boom come out of there. It'll just boom come out of the ground and eat you, and there goes your body and your loot. So you can't get any of that back. Not you can't even teleport the body back. But other than that, these things are very easy to counter if you're not carrying that much. You can just bait them, you can make them jump, but then get out of the way, so they'll just miss. But I'm gonna put them in C tier. They're not really that big of a deal. Okay, now we have the circuit bees. Circuit bees are one of the most annoying NPCs in the game. Okay, you're gonna get mad at me for where I'm gonna put them, but do not blame me. You say you have a friend who just randomly picks up a beehive and leads the hive to you. These circuit bees are very very fast, and they do not stop chasing you. They are very defensive towards their hive, and sometimes once they lose their hive, they'll just be very 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 aggressive, and they'll just start swarming the entire moon, chasing anybody that gets to their sight. They are unescapable and uncounterable, and you can't even kill them. Alright, I'm gonna put them in A tier. Do not get mad in the comments. Like, these things are very, very dangerous. Like I said, if they're missing the hive and they're not guarding the hive, they'll just start swarming and just go attack everything in their sight. Now we have the old birds. The old birds, they're very kind of strange. They're sometimes they can be very helpful if there's a forest giant, or they can be very helpful if there's a forest giant. But if it's just you and these things are around and they wake up, like if somebody pulls the apparatus and they all wake up, you're cooked. Because I know you might be saying, why can't you just stay out of its sight? If there's multiple of them and they're all just making unpredictable movements, you don't know what's coming. You don't know what's going to come. So I'm going to put these things in A tier in front of circuit bees. Now we have the butler. The butler, it's very, very easy. If you have multiple people with you, it's impossible to die to these things unless somebody attacks it. But if you're solo and if you're alone and it starts chasing you, you just gotta get out the facility and then it'll go back into its normal phase. But if it sees you again, it'll start chasing you. So yeah, the butler, it's not that fast. I mean, it is kind of fast. You can, but you can evade it pretty easily, and it takes 10 hits to kill you. So yeah, you can dodge that. I'm not dodge it, but you can like survive that pretty easily. Other than that, I'm gonna put the butler in A tier behind all of these guys. Now we have the tulip snakes. The tulip snakes, I'm gonna put them in D tier because they're. I'll explain. The tulip snakes, if you're trying to get away from something or trying to transport loot from the facility to the ship, these things are very, very helpful because if they jump on your head and multiple of them get on your head and your body, you can fly. You can fly. And you take less fall damage because the tulip snake was making you fly. So they're very, very helpful. Like one time I was getting chased by a forest giant, but then like 4 tulip snakes jumped onto me. So I used a tulip snake and just went to ship and closed the door. Or not, yeah, closed the door. So yeah, I flew to ship, which these things are very, very helpful. And they're also just very cute. Now we have the turret. The turret is probably another one. It's very annoying unless you have somebody staying back at ship that can disable them. These things are very, you do not know. Sometimes they could be right in front of the entrance, one of the entrances. And these things take about like 2 to 3 seconds to charge up, and then they'll just start blasting you. They don't care about the Second Amendment. They don't care about the Second Amendment rights. They will blast you away. These things are just, you gotta stay out of their radar, or just get behind something, and you'll be pretty good. But other than that, I'm gonna put them in B tier, in front of the snare flea, but behind the thumper. Now, I don't know what these are called, but I'm just gonna call them traps. Basically, if you stand under these for too long, they'll crush you. Basically, you just gotta like, the second it misses and just crushes nothing, then that's when you can go. If it's camping a door or something. And if you're really unlucky, like sometimes this has happened to me, I'll enter the facility and get crushed immediately because sometimes these little things can be right in front. These things can be right in front of the main entrance. So yeah, I'm gonna put them in C tier. They're not that hard to counter, but like say it's, yeah, like I said, they can be in front of the main entrance, or you just won't see us there. All right, now we have the landmine. Honestly, the landmine is probably the funniest way to die because, say I had a friend. I told him don't step on the landmine, you'll die, and he stepped on the landmine. It was so funny. So like, yeah, honestly, they're not that hard. I'm gonna put them in D tier. You just gotta make sure you don't step on anything. You don't step on them. Make sure you don't drop anything on them. Just yeah. All right. Thank you for watching my tier list video. Hope you have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.